there a new global arms race? Yeah, looks like it, because humanity just can't help itself. Looks like the boffins are really having some fun with this one. Let's look at some of the stuff they're coming up with, like this. This is a robot dog with a massive gun on its back. They spent so long asking whether they could, they never stopped to ask whether they should. Well, that's a pretty nice line, that one. Meanwhile, in China, this picture apparently shows some new, bigger than before unmanned warships. That's warships with no sailors on it, basically. This, but bigger. Then, of course, there's the race to harness the killing power of AI.
Last month, the Pentagon's first chief software officer resigned over the slow pace of technological advances in the U.S. military. He told the Financial Times China has already won the AI battle.
Bit defeatist there, but the stuff people are really getting excited about now is this.
There's new concern tonight about China's military capabilities amid a report the country recently tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile.
So let me try and explain a little bit how they work. I'm afraid there's no budget for graphics. So as far as I understand, which is not very far, the old school ICBMs kind of flew in a big loop like this, which made it a bit easier to see them and a bit easier to stop them. Whereas these hypersonic bad boys, you can't see them, you can't stop them, because they fly fast like this.
Because they're fast and they can avoid detection, they can decrease the amount of warning time we have and the amount of decision time that leaders have to respond in a crisis.
So having freaked out about China's AI capability, America's now freaking out because having watched Russia successfully test its hypersonic tech, China has now gone and successfully tested 2 of them. Although it is worth noting,
China's foreign ministry denied the report, instead claiming it was a routine test of a space vehicle.
Yeah, I think they might be playing with semantics in that denial, although this guy is definitely worried.
Speaking to Bloomberg, General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, sounding the alarm.
I don't know if it's quite a Sputnik moment, but I think it's very close to that, and it has all of our attention.
General Mark Milley there was talking about the so-called Sputnik moment. This is a reference to when the Soviets sent a satellite into orbit back in the 50s, and America was shocked because it had been too busy slapping itself on the back, telling itself how advanced it was.
Wow!
So China's not really missiles have achieved almost the impossible already and made America feel a little bit inferior about itself. However, let's not take Washington's sad face at face value. So US disarmament ambassador, apparently that is a thing, Robert Wood, speaking in Geneva, said, hypersonic technology is something we've been concerned about, and the potential military applications of it, we have held back from pursuing it. We had held back from pursuing military applications for this technology. Remember that we have held back from pursuing part of that quote.
Pentagon's hypersonic weapons programs suffered a setback after a booster rocket failed to lift off.
Wait, but that ambassador said they weren't pursuing.
The test was intended to validate aspects of one of the hypersonic glide vehicles in development.
After years of fits and starts, the U.S. is dedicating more defense dollars to the concept, with the Pentagon's 2022 budget request including roughly $12 billion more for its 5-year plan.
So the US ambassador for disarmament, not the busiest job I imagine, says they've held back from pursuing this hypersonic technology that last week they tested. The real issue here is basically Moscow and Beijing have technology that works, America's not so much. Perhaps Washington should just save the cash and buy one that's made in China. Works for everything else, doesn't it?